Hello there and welcome back to the Retro Management Cellar, where we have got a gauntlet of a final episode starting here with Ipswich versus Wycombe. Ipswich first place, Wycombe 24th, top versus bottom. I'm recording this much later than I normally would an episode going up on Monday due to the fact my own fitness is probably about 77%, but we're going to tough through. You might have a few more transitions because I've got a hot drink with me and I've got my ice water as well. I'm gonna try and make sure we can get through and get to the promised land, because here we are, people. We have got 6 games left. We're going to be watching all 6, starting with this one versus Wycombe. Can we finally get this promotion sealed, and can we finally get into the Premiership? So last time out, we saw us with our 1-0 defeat to Everton. We've not played a game since then, as was decided by you guys, because you wanted to see everything here. So we're just going to have a check of our team. So, you know, some of these guys must have been near me. Carl Laurie, for example, he's possibly got a sore throat as well. So he is going to have to come out. We're going to have a complete rejig of this team. So let's get Robertson back in. We need to get... Wow, we've got so much work to do, haven't we? I'm going to need to get Gerrard out as well. What was Luna on? Luna was on 100. So Luna is going to go back into his attacking midfield spot. Mosto is going to come in. So this is the time for some players to step forward and become heroes. Carr is going to come out as well, because Carr was 100. But we're going to get Clement in anyway. He's a 93. And I'm thinking about potentially putting Mullins into the back 3. So do you know what? I wanted to spin Holland gets all of his goals from the left-hand side, so I'm going to spin him with Jarman. So Wright, Holland, Cundy, Jarman. Pretty pleased with that. I'm going to leave Cundy in on his 89 just because I don't really have anyone else to feel I can put in there. I'm going to have to put Pearce on the bench. I was considering firing Mullins into the back line, but he's only got a tackling of 12. Do what though? I do definitely want him in midfield. And Rissif. Let's take Rissif off. Let's get O'Neill on because of his versatility. I know he's got his very, very low morale. And there we are. I think I was gonna say I think I'm happy with that. Do you know what? I'm not happy with it because of Palencia. And do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to put Hartson on up front, and I'm going to put Johnson on the bench. So we've got something more like what I want now. Now I'm very concerned about this back line, but we're just going to... It is Wycombe, and I already have a feeling that I'm going to be snipping that out as a way of self-trolling myself. But we're at home, bottom of the league. If we can't get through with a few 90s, 89s, then we don't deserve this automatic promotion, do we? Hartson must score, but there we go. All of that deliberating, and we're already 1-0 up after 3 minutes. Should be 2-0 up. Lee Hughes with a chance, said he must score, didn't score. It's John Hartson. It's the Hartson show. Isn't Hartson now going to establish himself as a starter in this key gauntlet of games, as I called them? If we can get one more goal before half-time, this is going to allow me to do a few more changes. Look at this. 7 shots on target. 7 shots on goal. 5 on target. Only the one corner. But we're bossing this. Let's get O'Neill on for Ramirez. Let's try and cheer him up a bit. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to get to 70 minutes, and if it's still 2-0, Jason Cundy, he was one of the people I was thinking of taking off to rest him because he's become a key player. He's one of a few remaining players. We're 3-0 up. Tell you what, I'm going to do it. John Hartson, he gets a hat-trick just as we're going to the screen. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring Pearce on for Cundy. Pearce's first appearance of the season. I'm going to bring Johnson on for Hughes. I'm going to let Hartson stay on. after the hat-trick. And I'm glad that I spent the time to actually look at my team there following that disappointing 1-0 defeat to Everton. So, first part, 4-0 or better win over Wickham. We're hopefully going to be... they've pulled one back, Paul Rickers, but it doesn't matter. That's not going to take anything away from me in terms of my enjoyment. We've dominated that. Let's have a look at the player ratings. Carl Liebon has got quite a few goals for them this year, though. Look, he's not fantastic. I was going to say they brought him from Tranmere, but yeah, he's hit 13 goals for them for a side going off. He's got great jumping and off the ball stats, though, hasn't he? But you know, pleased with that. Keeper's played an 8. He's not bad. Reflexes could be better, but. And here we go. So let's have a look. Where are our nemesis? Nemesi? The teams who are challenging us. Birmingham, they've beat Gillingham. So they were second versus 23rd. So they've had basically a similar fixture to us. And then we're looking for Stockport. Oh, they're here. So Stockport have drew. So 18th place Bristol City have held Stockport for us. So that has secured us a playoff place at least. So the first part, we're going to be in the playoffs. And, you know, if we end up in the playoffs now, that's going to be disastrous. But part 1, Ipswich have achieved a playoff place in the English First Division. But you saw the playoffs last year. You know we don't want that. Now, just for a completely frivolous interlude and segue, Aston Villa have appointed Ron Newman, this guy here, as their manager. Kansas City Wizards are now looking for a new manager. The reason we're here is this has alerted me to the brilliantly named Digital, the Zimbabwean with 16 goals in 46 caps, who started his career there. But can't say I've ever come across him before. Fabulous name. Right, guys, welcome back. It's the East Anglia Derby, the Old Farm, as it's disparagingly called. I'm not sure what people of the area think of that. Let us know whether that's going to get me cancelled or not in the comments. It is 5th place Norwich, though, versus 1st place Ipswich. Now, Norwich, they're pretty established in there, aren't they? They're ahead of West Ham. They're ahead of Fulham. So this is a big game for them. A win will even, well, it's going to move them up to 4th, so they'll be even more secure in the playoffs. We're going to have a look at our previous meetings versus them. So they do shade this. So I'm a bit nervous going into this. We've only got the 1 win. And even this year, we only drew with them 2-2. I can't remember who. We got Palencia and Ramirez. So those are the guys who got us the goals. But yeah, we've taken a few... Well, we've taken several beatings, but we got absolutely pummeled by them in the very first ever game. As I say, did O'Neill score in that? He did, yeah. And where is Bellamy? Is Bellamy still there? He is still there. He has not really progressed on as much as I was expecting, although he's got great stats. I'm going to imagine here they're either playing him up front or he scored there, though, didn't he? Look. Yeah, playing him either up front or off the wing. Right. Tottenham Hotspurs have offered a contract to Man United's Eric Nevlin. Nev tried to sign him before because he was so frequently mentioned to us, but I don't think he has any interest still. No, look. And I did last time I did offer him a lot of money, and he was just like, I'm not doing it. Leave me alone. But we've got bigger things to worry about than Nevlin. So we're still... Look, Hartson. He scored a hat-trick. I can't take him out, though. So we didn't use Johnson last time. Let's get Palencia back on the bench. Gerrard is back. So Gerrard is going to come in. So there's the first big change. Now I need to sort out. So I'm leaving Laurie out of this game. Warner is still out. Warner's out for 3 weeks, so he is going to miss near enough all of this running. Dalu is back on a 93, but I think considering the performance we just had even, I'm going to have to leave it as this. Do you know what? I'm not. I'm gonna change Jarman and Dalu. So Sebastian Dalu, or Sebastian Dalu, possibly his cousin, Stefan Dalu, not played as much this year, but he's kind of had to come in recently. I'm going to leave O'Neill on the bench. We've got Palencia, and then we have got Pearce. I'm going to leave Pearce because of his versatility. So I'll tell you what. I'm gonna bring Carr in due to his superior fitness. So we've only got 1 or 2 question marks there, or 1 or 2 parts that I'm not totally happy with. So let us get into this. We're going to do this on fast, hoping for a win. Would take a draw because it's the game in hand. Oh, fantastic save by Marshall. Let's have a look at what Norwich are doing though. Hopefully they're not going to score. Holland. What's happening here? I'm like, when I go back, are we going back to a penalty? Right, so what they've got Marshall, Scott Minto, Jackson. Which Mackay is this? Oh, it is Malky Mackay. Malky Mackay. I was going to say still there. Trevor Finlay. Then who is Ben? Tom Bennett, Alex Hay, Phil Stamp, Geary. And then they've got Bellamy and Marino Keefe up front, who they have brought in from Volco. Well, that's a brilliant name, isn't it? And they've still got Chris Llewellyn on the bench. I feel like he'd be good enough to start, really. And there's no penalty, so I'm pleased with that. And nothing's really happened here in this first 50 minutes, is it? Did all that build up? Another glorious image. Oh, inches wide. Now, the big cause of concern I have is these defenders. It's the amount of games we've got, and it's how many defenders we've either got out or with questionable fitness. I do have Jamie Clapham still kicking around in the reserves. And I have considered firing him back in. I need to have a check that I've not got anyone else in there. I did have Lee Roche, who I brought in from Man United, but my belief, and this is bad management, but my belief is he is still off on loan, along with Titus. If you're considering wondering where he is. Right. Not a lot is happening, is it? I'm sorry about this, John, but you've gone from a hat-trick to being taken off at half-time. I'm going to drop Gerard back, and then I'm going to tell him to do that run again, because that did seem to work in our previous game that we did that in. I was going to say it was Stockport, but it wasn't Stockport, because we got battered by Stockport, and we lost 2-0. Right, yellow card for Malky. Is Hughes still on? Hughes is still on a 6. Now, let's do it. A very unhappy man is scoring against his beloved Norwich. Going to cheer him up? Probably not, let's be honest, but... If I didn't have such a sore throat, I would have celebrated that with so much more enthusiasm, but I like to think that shows my my professional determination. Gerrard has picked that up, and it looks like he's hit it from 20 yards. And that is only his second league goal. And I'm going to be honest, he's someone that maybe won't even be starting if we can get promoted. Not without a significant improvement in his stats. But with 8 minutes to go, we're doing well here. Can we hold on? the shot hit Cundy. Jason Cundy is one of the few originals, and he's barely played. And look, he's come back in due to injuries. He's only got a 6, but it's his 9th game. He's been on the transfer list the entire time. And, you know, the guy's a hero. That's basically what I was getting at. And look, even it's breezy and wet and 16 degrees just behind my face, but that has not stopped us from going away and beating Norwich for only the 2nd time of the playthrough, because this is what champions do, isn't it? Now, I'm going to hit... No, let's have a look. I was going to say, I don't want to spoil anything by hitting the league table, but look, we have got a 4-point gap over 2nd place Birmingham now that everyone's leveled up, and we've got a 6 points gap over Stockport. So, welcome to match day 3 of the episode. So, a few things to look at. 10th place, they said 11th, 10th place Crew versus 1st place Ipswich. Then we've got 11th place Sheffield United versus 2nd place Birmingham, and then at home 3rd place Stockport versus 7th place West Ham. So we can't seal anything here, because even if we win and Stockport lose, we'll be 9 points ahead of them, but there'll still be 9 points to play for, because there'll be 3 games left each. But we're going to have a look at our team, and I feel like every time I click on this, it's getting worse and worse. Right, so Gerrard, I cannot be playing even with his heroic winner. You know, Keats is struggling. Simica, when are you back? 2 weeks. So we're doing this the hard way. Laurie is back. Clement is back. Carr is a 97, so he can come out. And Robertson is so right. So Laurie is going to come in. One of the defenders was concerning me, right? So Dalu and Jarman are just going to be rotating, I think, for the foreseeable future. And I'm going to leave Keats in. I'm going to put Musto on the bench. That's not on the bench, is it? Let's put Musto there. So then my bench is Pierce, Musto, Palencia. So I'm going to leave Hartson in. Rissiv is back. And what's Johnson has been such a disappointment. I'm like, it's probably not the time to be bringing him in, is it? We're putting this back to very fast. Seeing a lot of Hartson. This is what I want. Now, the only problem I have with very fast is it's almost impossible for me to commentate on. Let's have a look at player ratings. Oh, they must score just to see. Now they've got a very different team that they started with, and I'm partly responsible for that because I've been one of the many teams that's been out here trying to strip them. Oh, hit the woodwork, bounces clear. I think that was Lee Hughes. And Hughes has scored. So he's been on a bit of a drought, but that is now his 15th goal of the season, right before half-time. I was just about to say, for the second half, we are going to go down to fast. But let's go in and have a look. So Hartson not doing it again. So I'm going to take him off. I'm going to keep this rotation going. I'm going to risk taking Keats off because he's on a 6 and bringing on Musto. Leaving myself with Scally as the remaining sub should I need him. So, yes, I'm going to confirm all that. Let's have a look at Crew. What are they doing? They're doing 4-5-1. Stuart Campbell, Corby legend. Sometimes used to put my nan's bin out for her if he was back because his mum lived in the same street. So, never say that footballers can't be nice. What did they pay for him? 400k. Midfield right, but they're playing him in that little spot there. Rodney Jack, I believe he starts here, doesn't he? Yeah. So they've had a real drop off from some of the players that they did have that you would be interested in. Who's Mark Ovendale? No, they've had to sign him. Look, so sometimes on this old version, on the original database version even, Crew would be very good. They'd often end up in the Premiership if they hold on to their promising players, but they've not managed to do that here. And If you're asking me, do I feel guilty about that? No, I don't. Oh, no. Right. Let's have a... Right. If only I hadn't taken off Keats, he could have just dropped into there. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fire Mullins there. It's time for this guy's debut. He is going to come on. Who is my worst playing midfielder? Well, Musto's only just come on, so it's going to have to be Luna. So Scally is going to go right. I'm going to leave the 2 up top, 2 in midfield. And let's see, can we hang on to this? I'm glad a defender got sent off because I've got so much defensive options and cover to choose from. So that's not going to bother me or impact me at all. David. He's like, oh no, he's saying my name like he says the other David's name. Hughes has got it all wrong and it's gone harmlessly over the bar. Will we be ruining that? Is that John Mackin? How did I miss that he was there? Oh, it's Adam. One of the subs, that's why. Now, this is why I like leaving 2 up top, because we've still had a good number of chances, and it's an easy chance for Palencia. It's in the back of the net. Palencia is the scorer. Ipswich surely can't be caught now. And I'm starting to believe. Turn the belief down a second. Condi's at least kicked him. Or kicked someone. Ooh, just wide by Yates, I believe that was. Now, this is tense. Fantastic save by Wright. We must be near the end of the game now. Valencia shoots. That's a corner kick. Keep this in the corner, lads. Someone else is getting booked. It's Musto. It's a final whistle. I take that booking. There we go. A hard-fought 2-1 win down to 10 men for nearly all of the second half. Look at this guy. Nearly sold him several times. Nearly sold him to Wolves. Nearly sold him to Porto. Nearly sold him to Newcastle. It's another standout performance. Look at his rating. Surely he's got to be in contention for the England team. Look, it's better than Flowers. Flowers is starting. He's better than James. Why is Rio Ferdinand so unhappy? Wants to move to a bigger club. Rio, would you consider Premiership Ipswich Town a bigger club? Because if you do, and Darren Peacock, why is Darren Peacock in the England squad? How bad is this team? You've also got Dean Sturridge, wants to move to a bigger club. Would you also consider, where at Derby? I'm getting ahead of myself here, people. But it's a win. Are we going to click this button? Or are we going to have a look at the league table? Let's have a look at what's gone on first. Stockport 2-0 winners. Alex Inglethorpe with a brace. Birmingham 2-0 winners. Dele Adebola also with a brace. Oh, there's Jimmy Traore. So I did to mention that he'd gone somewhere and I couldn't remember where. He's got to Sheffield United, like 550k. So he didn't really do anything for us. David Robertson has been banned for one English match, and Wycombe have been relegated. Sorry, Wycombe. Let's have a look at the league now. No one else has secured a playoff place. We've got the one relegated team. No one has been relegated from the Prem yet, I don't believe. We'll have a check of that in a second. Next up, it's a home game versus Tranmere. Now, Tranmere currently 9th, but these are another of the teams that have just absolutely owned this series versus us. So, played 5, won 4, lost 1. Beat us 5-3. Believe that was on. It was either on camera or right before an episode, wasn't it? Darren Byfield, Jason Kumas, and Lee Cardsley, future England manager, but the goals past us in that game. We have lost Jason Cundy to injury, so that's another centre back down. I've also noticed that the guys that I brought back on loan, and you might have spotted this in the last one, but Lee Roche, he's got 18% fitness, and then the guy that we played, Scally, his is even worse. So we potentially brought a player on there who had like 50 or worse fitness after my focus on fitness in this episode. But we're much improved with the players we've got available. It's a very makeshift back three though. We've got right in goal Holland, Deleu, Jarman, Robertson and Laurie. Robertson's ban has not come into effect yet. We've got Keats and Mullins. We've got Gerrard, Hughes and Palencia with a bench of Hartson, Luna and O'Neill. So we've gone very, very non-defensive bench just because I've not got anyone to put in there from those spots. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go one step further. I'm gonna take O'Neill off and put Johnson on the bench just because, having been in the training tab, his complete lack of game time is causing him to seriously deteriorate. So we might see him at this stage. We're gonna keep this on very fast for the first half again at least, and see how we can do. So this could be the promotion ceiling game. And Lee Hughes' score, but it won't count. I was trying to muster some enthusiasm into my voice there. Or it could have been a great goal. Oh, they've got Undlove, and Undlove is scored, but that's been disallowed as well. Let's have a look at what Tranmere are doing before we get to the half. Oh, they're playing this. They're playing the system. Undlove and Andy Parkinson pulling out into those spots. Where does he? I was gonna say he starts it, doesn't he? He's got a great record. Look, 20 goals. What's Carsley doing? Carsley's playing on the right. So they've got a good team. It's half time. Right, we are going to drop this down. How are we doing? No one's having a terrible game. I'm gonna do the tactic. Just to try and match them up a bit more in that midfield. Oh, Peter Undlove. I'm like, how many goals has he scored past us in this playthrough? Palencia's gone for the nutmeg. And he scored. And it's not being ruled out. I was like, is this going to be disallowed? So he's nutmegged someone, and then he looks like he's put it past Bennett in goal. And we are 1-0 up. We have potentially just scored the goal that's going to take us up. Now, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to take Hughes off, and I'm going to bring on Johnson, just because I feel like this could be his moment. I'm going to take Gerrard off as well, and I'm going to bring Luna on. But I'm going to leave Luna in that spot. So we've got the double Mexican. Oh, that's rust, that is. This man has not played in ages. Other than his games for Jamaica, he's barely featured. One of the good parts of being promoted, though, as you may have spotted, the Premiership has the extended bench. Palencia must score. It's gone wide. He's completely misjudged that. But we're still doing it. We're still doing the stuff here. It's crowded out by defenders. Final whistle. There's not been any type of message. Stockport have lost, though. Birmingham have won, so we are not champions, but I believe when I click this button, we are going to be confirmed as promoted. Ipswich have won promotion from the English First Division. I wished I had some music queued up, but I don't. But I'm delighted by that. We've done it, people. We've done it. Brentford have been relegated. No one cares about you, Brentford. There we go. We have sealed promotion. We're on to 92 points. We're 1 win away from the title. Right, people. 2 games to play. We have got a little bit of an advantage here. well, we should have an advantage over Barnsley in the sense that we're better than them. But they have just played. So they played midweek. They beat Everton 1-0. But this was... When was this? It was Wednesday. So they've had to play Wednesday and Saturday. We've had a full week of rest. We're starting to get some players back, but they're unlikely. Look, out for a few days, out for 10 days. So Simika, if needed, he may be playing in the final game of the year if we need that to seal the championship, the title. We are missing, though, the Central Americans. I know David Johnstone isn't Central American, but you know what I mean. So he's off playing for Jamaica. So we need to sort out our forward line, and that's probably just going to be Hughes and Hartson with Mendonca. Mendonca has very hardly featured since we've got the forward line truly going. But we're going to bring O'Neill on, and then let's check these guys. They're 42 and a 35, so the fitness is working for them at least. So what am I going to do? I'd like some kind of defender on the bench. It's going to have to be Pearce, isn't it? So this is what we're going with. Holland, Delu, Jarman. Holland has just been subject of like a 3.7 million bid from Chelsea. I asked for 7 million just because I was like, if he is going to go, I want a lot of money because I don't know what's going to happen when we're promoted. I can say that now in terms of how much cash are we going to get in this first time, because we do have work to do to turn this into a more competitive squad. But for the time being, we need to be worrying about Barnsley. Now, we have genuinely had our way with Barnsley, including beating them 4-0, well, on 2 separate occasions. But we are a bit of a makeshift team, and Robertson is banned. I've only just spotted that. So what I'm going to do, Laurie will go left, Carr will go right. So we got that solved pretty quickly. So here we are, Oakwell. It's a wet 10 degrees, Saturday the 21st of April for the title. So we're going to keep this on fast due to the importance. I'm sure people won't mind this being a longer episode, giving its historicness. They've got Georgie Histroff still playing, unmarried, I presumed. Due to how ugly the Barnsley women were, or whatever it was that he said about them. I hope that wasn't a misquote. And he's still got people like me who's never fact-checked that, holding it against him. They've got Robin van der Laan though. I was always a massive fan of his. I've probably mentioned that before. I'm going to presume that's Bruce Dyer as well, is it? Now, on the subject of Dyer, or Hartson and Gerrard linking up there, nearly give us a lead. On the subject of Dyer, at least last time I checked, Aston Villa were in the relegation spots where Dyer transferred to. So there is a very slight chance that we could try and link up with him, depending on how much they would potentially want for them if they do go down. Hartson was denied a chance there, though. It's Bruce Dyer, because his name's just come up. Mullins was another one that someone tried to buy. Derby tried to buy him for like 1.4 million. It's like, I'm not selling you my best player when we're on the, or one of my best players when we're on the verge of promotion, or are promoted. This is a tense one, isn't it, this? We're getting a lot of shots. They're getting a lot of shots, but we're giving it a lot of blocks, so they only had the one on target. Straight at the top corner, but it looks like Edwards. Which Edwards have they got in goal? Oh, Christopher Edwards. They got Dave Watson in goal. So it must have been a block, not a save. This is a long half, this, isn't it? What a goal that would have been. Great football by Barnsley. Well, they do always say it's just like watching Brazil, don't they? So, you know, things are not going great. I'm going to give these guys a bit more time just because I feel like the bench doesn't really improve anything here, does it? I am going to do the tactic. Barnsley are playing, so they've got the 3-man midfield, so that hopefully is going to match us up a bit with them. And see if we can get a goal here. A point will probably still do it, given I believe Birmingham. Well, Birmingham. I can't remember how many they were behind now. They're 4 behind, so a point won't do it if they win. Stevie Gerrard. This man loves the tactic. And I think it might be Clive time. The forwards still playing 6s. They've sorted themselves out a little bit, but I feel like this is the perfect time for some Clive experience. So I'm going to bring him on for John. Gerrard swinging corner into John Hartson's head there. Hopefully you would hope that he's aiming at no one other than Hartson in this side. Donker drives it, goes straight into the action. Oh, and it's Keats. One of our original signings. That must clinch it for Ipswich. It's only his 3rd goal of the season. He's been here since the start. Look, he's been pretty much an ever-present. He's been moved around, centre-back, holding midfield, left wing-back. And he's hopefully going to give us the title. As long as we don't have any disastrous last 10 minutes here. At the minute, they were looking like 2 goals and a clean sheet. Potentially got Mike Sheeran on now for them. And it's the final whistle. I've not seen any messages about winning the title, but maybe that's just not in the game. Maybe I'm misremembering that. But that is it. We are 4 points ahead. There's only 1 game left. We've made it to 30 wins. We've made it to 95 points. Stockport are going into the playoffs because they can't catch Birmingham. But we have done it, people. Let me get this. I have absolutely no idea what the championship winners trophy looks like. But this is going to be it. Let us put this up here next to my tiny little manager man. You'll see that it's cut up there now. I do have a camera on that. There we go. Championship Manager 3 promotion trophy. We've done it. So there will be a 4th season. We nearly didn't get a 2nd, but now there's going to be a 4th, and we're going to be in the Premiership. And we could discuss, do you want to go straight into that? Do you want a different game? Do you want us to jump back to FIFA Soccer Manager? Because this is back-to-back kind of championship promotions. It took us 3 seasons this time. But we have done it. Ipswich have won the English First Division Championship. Birmingham promoted, as we knew. Gillingham relegated. I believe that is all the spots, isn't it? Yeah, so there's nothing to play for on the final day. Leicester have managed to scrape free. Before we go into the final game, because we will still look at the final game, let's have a look at the Premiership. So Man United have won this at an absolute canter. This is good, isn't it? You can't see this because my face is in the way, but Port Vale have slipped into the relegation zone. They've only got 36 points. Wimbledon have got 36 points. Forest have got 37. Wednesday and Villa are in real trouble. 29 points for Wednesday and 31. Let us show you this, because you know how important it is to us. I would ideally like Port Vale to survive. and for us to have a Premiership game against Port Vale. So that would be my hope. But, you know, if they get relegated, I'm also going to be pleased about that, because they didn't deserve that spot. Final game, QPR. We'll make some change. We'll make some fun changes for this potentially, because we've got nothing to play for. No one's going to catch us. We've done it. We're not going to set any records. So we'll see who's fit and available and who deserves a little run out in this game. Now, here we are, guys, going into the final games. Aston Villa have been relegated from the English Premiership. Sheffield Wednesday have been relegated from the English Premiership. Charlton have sealed the final playoff spot. So the playoffs are done. First and second place is done. Stockport have missed out on the automatics. We've got our game home versus QPR. We've got a few players back, a few people that we're going to give a run out. We are going to see the long-awaited debut of Tony Bullock as well. So he is going to come in, but everything else is pretty much decided and sorted. Are these guys anywhere near fit enough to be playing? They are not. So brought them back for no reason. I'm going to leave the wing-backs as they are. I'm going to leave the defence as it is. I'm going to change around some of these guys. Some of these guys are back from internationals and whatnot. So let's just clear all the bench. So we are going to go with Tommy Johnson in midfield. We are going to go with David Johnson playing on the left. We're going to go with Midgley because he's still here. Going to give him his first ever appearance for us. We're going to play him on the right. I'm going to have Mendonca. And then what we're going to do here, we'll have Risiv, because he's probably not going to be back next year. And do you know what? Ian Durant. Let's get him on there. Everyone else is pretty... Oh, Midgley. Why do I never check these things? He's a 77. Do you know what? I'm just going to leave him there. I've got plenty of cover. Not something I would normally do. He must be in my brutal... I've got this youth training regime, and you see it is working, because most of them, other than Terry, are improving most of their abilities. And it is on intensive for everything apart from fitness. But, oh, Gerard, you shouldn't even be in there. Sorry, Gerard. I'm glad I came in there now. I thought I'd changed that previously. But for some reason, it leaves them... Well, not for some reason. For obvious reasons, it makes them unable to really perform very well, especially if they're also playing in the reserves. So here we go. We've got QPR. What they're playing a crazy 3-5-2 defensive. What's Kevin like? Not great. I'm going to keep this on very fast. It's the last game. Now start to let me know, like I said, that's because I called him not very great. Let me know, what do you want to happen next? Different game, just straight into the next episode. Got some work to do transfer-wise. Oh, am I getting hammered here? Tony, this was your big moment. So, backup goalkeeper. That's going on the list. QPR must score. What is he doing here? He's on a free. Tony. Good thing we didn't need him all year, wasn't it? But... Oh, he's just made a save. And then letting a fourth. Which Hope is this? Wait, it's Richard Hope. He's pretty decent, isn't he? Where have they got him from? From Northampton. Let's get Clive on, because I don't want to kill the young lad here. Like, he's playing a 5. Mullins is having a stinker. Let's get him off. Let's get Durant on. And let's get Rissif on for... I'm going to leave David Johnson. I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave Rissif on the bench for now. Hopefully we can keep this below 7 with the way he's playing. Oh, Mendonca. And he scored. So Clive... No, his contract is expiring in August. He was one of those players. I only wanted him for a year, and you might have noticed this if you play this. It's very hard with a modern mouse to get any type of sensitivity. Oh, Dean, you haven't been sent off all year. Why did you go and do that now? Yeah, it's very hard to get the accuracy with the months the way it used to be. I feel like one click moves a contract on several years. David Johnstone has scored. What a disappointment you have been, David. It's only his second goal. I know he's hardly featured, but I thought he was going to be a real star of this playthrough. And instead, he's just declining and tanking. I'd like to get him out, really. Oh, Bears down on goal. There we are, guys. Even in a 5-2 defeat in which debut Tony Bullock played a 4, he's not terrible. I'm not sure what's gone on. Even that's not going to dampen my spirits that we have got another season of Ipswich Town on Championship Manager 3. This has been by far the best performing video series that I've done so far. We do have another subscriber milestone that I need to plan because we've gone past 750 between the last couple of episodes in terms of subscribers. So thank you to everyone who's been watching, commenting, liking, and even if you watch and you don't comment or like, I get that. I do that with plenty of other channels myself. You're still appreciated. So we have done it though. Nearly got fired. We got like 17 votes of confidence in the first time around. We've been awarded 1.7 million. Keats is banned, so he, probably going to miss the start of next year. But I am very pleased